Hey guys, today I have a about 25 or 30-minute yoga video. We're going to be focusing on stretching our upper body, so shoulders, arms, upper back, stuff like that. We're going to start in mountain pose. So feet are hip width apart, knees directly above your ankles, hips directly above your knees. Straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back, lift your chin, and raise your chest. Start breathing deep. On your next inhale, we're going to bring our hands to the chest. And then on the next inhale, we're going to cactus our arms. So elbows are bent and bring our arms straight back. Open the chest. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to bring the hands right in front of us. We're going to do that 2 more times. So on an inhale, breathe in, open the chest. You can look to the sky if that feels good. Exhale, hands together. 1 more time. Hands together. Inhale this time, hands above your head. And then nose dive forward, hips push backwards. All the way down, release your arms, release your head. You can nod your head yes, nod your head no. Make sure there's no tension in your shoulders or neck. Have a solid foundation in your legs and breathe. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release all the way down. Awesome, we're gonna frame the feet here, where you can hop or step back into a plank. Find your base, breathe into it. And then we're gonna lower the knees, find a tabletop position. Wrists are directly below the shoulders, knees are directly above the hips. Find your neutral spine before we drop into cat-cow. So drop the belly, raise the hips, raise the head, breathe in. And on your exhale, tighten the core, bend the back, press against the mat with the tops of your feet and with your hands. Again, inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Find a neutral spine again. This time we're going to thread the needle, so take your left hand, go underneath your right, drop your left ear to the mat. You can push against your right hand against the mat to create more of a tension in your twist. On your next inhale, press against that right hand, lift up, and we're going to switch sides. Cross the right hand underneath the left and drop that ear to the mat. Inhale, lift up. Awesome. From here, we're going to move into a puppy pose. So I'm going to move my knees just slightly backwards, move my hands slightly forward as I drop my chest to the mat and lengthen out my arms. My chin is going to drop to the mat, and I'm really trying to open my chest as much as possible. Awesome. Go up onto your elbows and then find a tabletop once more. From here, we're going to take our left leg, bend it across and in front of that right. Both of your feet should be on either side of the mat. We're going to sit back and find a straight back. Try to line your hips as much as possible. From here, I'm going to raise my right hand up to the sky, take my left hand behind me and then try to grab my hands. Breathe into it. If you have a tight chest or tight arms, this might be difficult. If you can't reach your hands, that's okay. Just reach towards your hands. Release the hands. Find your tabletop and then release the legs. This time we're going to have the right leg over the left. Open your feet to the size of the mat and then lean back once more. Find a straight back. Try to even your hips as much as possible. And then we're going to take our right hand, raise it to the sky, bring our left hand behind us and try to reach. Open the chest as much as possible. Awesome. Release. We're going to go back into a tabletop position. We're going to go down onto our forearms and go into a dolphin pose. This is going to be tough if you have tight shoulders. If you can't lift up into a full dolphin, stay right in this position. But if you can, we're going to curl the toes under and do a downward dog type motion in dolphin pose. Try to press the heels into the ground, really push the glutes, tailbone up into the air, and press away from the mat through your elbows and hands. You can walk the dolphin by bending your knees one at a time, and then find some stability. Really press your nose away from your elbows. Awesome. Breathe in. And on an exhale, lower the knees. We're going to curl the toes, the tops of the feet back on the mat and stretch all the way back for a child's pose. Extended hands. Inhale, raise up. I'm going to face you for a second. I'm going to curl my toes under and sit on the back of my hand, and sit on my heels and create a long, elongated spine. Try to press into all 10 digits on your toes. If you have tight feet, this might be difficult. Find some stability here. Breathe into it. When you're ready, we're going to raise our right hand straight out beside us, really pulling through your fingers. Stay here if you feel a sufficient stretch in your right trap. If you'd like to intensify it, we're going to tilt our head to the left. So our ear is going towards our left shoulder. Stay here if this is enough of a challenge, or straighten that right hand. You should really feel it in your trap muscle and your shoulder. Awesome, release. We're going to move on to the other side, so raise the left hand, really pulling out of the socket. Stay here, or tilt your head, right ear to right shoulder. Stay here, or flex that left hand as if you're pressing up against a wall. Breathe in. Awesome. We're going to find a plank position again. Release the feet. We can press into the tops of the feet and lean back to give your feet a break real quick before we move into plank. And then when you're ready, find your plank pose. I'm going to breathe into this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, we're going to lean forward, slowly lower onto our tummies, and then lift up into a cobra. Exhale, raise back down. Inhale, we're going to curl the toes under, press up into a plank, and then press back into downward dog. Just like dolphin, if you need to walk the dog this time by bending each knee, really try to press your chest towards the ground. Try to press your heels towards the ground as much as possible. On your next inhale, we're going to raise the left foot above our head. And then exhale, we're going to plant it between our hands. Pivot on that back foot. And when you're ready, raise your hands above your head, warrior 1. Find your stability, even your hips as much as possible. Bend into that front knee, front leg, and hands above your head. We should be pressing into the outer edge of your back foot. And you should find a good stretch in that right leg. Inhale, and on your exhale, open the chest, warrior 2, really focusing on stretching your arms back and opening your chest. Trying to maintain the depth in your lunge. Awesome. From here, we're going to pivot on that back foot so you're in a lunge. We're going to reach our front hand down towards the ground while lifting the right hand up to the sky. If you need to touch the ground, fingertips to the ground, have your hand on your shin, hand on your knee, whatever you need to do is a-okay. Or if you want to hover and engage your obliques, that's cool too. Inhale, and on an exhale, we're going to frame that front foot, find another vinyasa, go into cobra or up dog. And then on an exhale, back to downward dog. Find your breath. On your next inhale, we're going to raise our right foot this time. Exhale, lean forward. Plant your foot between your hands. Pivot on that back foot. Find your stability in your legs. And raise up to warrior 1. We're pressing into the outer edge of that back foot, really leaning into the front heel. Trying to square my hips, opening my chest. Inhale, and on your exhale, open up to warrior 2. Trying to maintain depth, really opening your chest. Awesome. Pivoting on that back foot, we're going to lower our right hand towards the ground, raise our left to the sky, really open your chest. You can let your hand hover, have it on your shin, have it on the ground, or have it on your knee. However feels comfy today. Awesome, we're going to frame the front foot again. We're in a plank. We're going to go through one more vinyasa for the day. We can go into upward dog or cobra, however you feel. Inhale, lower. I'm in up dog. We're going to find our way back to downward dog. And from here, we're gonna just take small baby steps, one foot in front of the other until we find our way into a forward fold. Big breath when we get here. Let everything relax. Loosey-goosey arms. Make sure you're not holding in the neck, holding in your back, holding in your shoulders. Awesome. From here, we're gonna lift our hands up while we sink into our glutes, pressing into our heels or in chair pose. We're gonna shift our weight towards our left foot while we start to raise our right above the ground. From here, we're going to either, I'm going to face towards you so you can see. You can either twist your leg so that your toes are just above this foot while we're sunk into chair. If this is where you feel comfy, that's cool. Or you can try to twist your leg all the way around, really focusing on balance here. We're in eagle pose. We're gonna add some eagle arms. So we're gonna take our right hand, twist the left around it, and then raise up to the sky. Whatever variation you feel comfy in today. Sometimes balance is not it, and that's okay. Today we're really focusing on the upper body stretch anyways, so really try to raise your hands. Stretching out your upper back. When you're ready, release it all, find mountain pose. Inhale, and on an exhale, we're gonna sink back into chair. Start shifting our weight to the right, raising the left foot. We're gonna twist it around the right. We can keep it here if that feels comfy, or we can try our balance. I'm gonna put our left hand first this time. Cross it around. So we're holding hands, and then lift your arms. Really focusing on the stretch in your upper back. Try to stay as sunken into the squat as you possibly can, and really breathe. This is a challenging pose and you're doing great. And exhale, release. We did it. We're gonna move on to our butt. Feet together and knees out to the side. We're in butterfly pose. Breathe into it as we find a straight back. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, we're gonna lean forward. Nose is diving in front of the toes. Awesome. Inhale, return back, straight back. We're gonna take our hands, move them behind our back. Try to find a prayer pose behind your back, really opening the chest. If you can't get your hands to touch behind your back and your palms to touch, A-okay. Just try to touch your fingers. Get as close as you can. Really open your shoulders up. Try to press your elbows back. Stretching through the shoulders. Breathe into it. Awesome. Release everything. Stretch your feet out right long in front of you. Breathe in, hands above your head. Breathe out, reach towards your toes. If you can't reach your toes, grab your shins, grab wherever you can. Try to keep your back as straight as possible. Core in tight. And then nose towards your knees. If they don't come close, that's A-okay. We're gonna stretch out our hands real quick, so bring your hands out in front of you. Pretend like you're pressing them up against a wall. Now take your right hand and push against your left, intensifying it. And then we're going to take your right hand and press your left hand downward this time. Perfect. We're going to do the same with our right hand. This should help stretch out your forearms as well if you have tight forearms. Switch directions on your hand. And then shake them out. We're going to move on to our back for one more pose. Legs out long. We're going to bring our left leg into our chest. Squeeze. And then we're going to twist. Grab your right hand, put it on your left knee, twist it across the body, keeping your left hand out long, looking towards your left. Try to keep that shoulder on the ground as well. Release and then bring the right knee into the chest. Really squeeze. And then take the left hand, twist it over the body, look towards your right, and try to keep that right shoulder on the ground. And release. Relax your legs out long, relax your hands by your side. Take 3 deep breaths with me. We did it. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I hope that it helped you stretch out your arms and your shoulders and your upper body, and I hope you found some zen with me. Thanks for joining.